Okay, you guys, I'm re-recording this. I recorded it for you earlier, but for whatever reason, it didn't work. So let's get to it. Excuse me. I got my employee up. I'm waiting for it to send out some alerts. In the meantime, let me go over some charts. Then we'll get into the news. I'll show you guys what news I'm looking at for this week. I will tell you up front, NFP is going to be on Friday. That's the biggest one you need to be worried about. Let's go ahead and just start here. And I'm going to start with the ocean wave because, I like starting off the week trading with the trend. But I will tell you this, and it's already starting to happen now that the markets are actually open. It's Sunday, 6:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So in essence, what I'm looking for is actual pullbacks. Because as you can see, the market will hover around the main wave. And then it'll explode up, then it will come back, touch it, explode up, come back and retest it. It dropped really, really hard, but look at the gap in between here. This is a problem. So I do expect to retrace back into a lot of these different pairs. As you can see right here, it's not looking good. Let's go to the 30-minute time frame. So it can continue to drop down before it touches up, but I'm looking for retracements back up, especially on the AUD pairs. USD pairs. Same thing here. You can see the same thing that's starting to happen. See this little gap? Look at there as we speak. Literally. Let's switch over to the sexy. Let's take a look at this. Okay. Yep, I was right. And look at the arrow. Arrow said buy. Told you. Gap filling. So it dropped way too hard, too fast, and that's what's going on. Give me a second. Usually I record these earlier, but it's actually good that this happened because I was showing you guys from the main wave exactly when look at there. It's already happening. Look at that. Look. Bing, bing, bing. Let's go to the 15-minute time frame, see if there's an arrow, and there is. So what you would do, this is not the same. This is going to be a little bit dangerous because it's not in the trading zone, but it is bouncing. Let's go to the 1 hour. So this one I don't like as much, but either way it goes, I do expect some pullbacks. Let's go back to the analyst. The ocean wave. So you see how there's this gap right here in between the main wave and where price action is, and you see how it's just this parting of the Red Sea. Okay, so when you see this gapping, like you've seen here, see that gapping, it has to fill it. Okay, so right here, you see that gapping right in between there. I expect it to start trying to come back up again. All right, and unfortunately for us, we've seen that already starting to happen on ACAD. So I expect that to happen. See, here we go, another one. See it drifted, and you see the widening on the ocean wave. That means at some point it's going to come back up. And let's go here to sexy. And you can see it's starting to happen on the 1 hour. It probably had a 15-minute arrow, and it did way earlier last week. And there's your retrace coming back up. All right. Let me quickly go to this pair right here because this is the one up here. Oh, it's already jumping. Already jumped. Okay. Yep, it already did it. I wish y'all would have seen the first recording earlier because I have recorded this earlier today before I went out on my date. And I told you guys in advance, I said, hey, this is going to be the pair I'm going to pay attention to on the 15-minute arrow. And I had recorded this before the market opened. And I said, hey, this is the one that looks good for me, which it still can, to be honest. It still looks like it got running room. I'll wait for it to pull back. Let me spread this open a little bit. See how price action is way up here and the main wave is here. See how it jumps up and then pulls back to the main wave, comes up, pullbacks to the main wave, jumps up further, and then it try to find its way back to the main wave. So me personally, I'll be waiting for this to come back to the main wave. Let's see you. All right, so you are still there, and see that gap? See that? So I'm waiting for a pullback to the main wave and then continue back up. That's what I'm looking for on a lot of these. Last week was a really tough trading week. I'm not going to lie. There was a lot going on in the economy with Trump and all the other things that's going on and happening around the world. So it's really causing big disruptions in the market, which is why some of you guys who try and trade on your own, you're probably having a tough time too because you're seeing that. The JPY, see, and I recorded this earlier, the JPY pairs. I told you, see, the gap was happening, and look, it's popping up. Let's go over here to sexy. So what you're going to have to do, to be honest, if you see jumped just exactly like I said it would do. Exactly like I said it would do. For an example, I had lost on this trade last week when I knew I should never have lost on it. I knew exactly where it was supposed to go. But again, you can't demand what the market wants to do. It's going to do what it's going to do. But again, was I right? Here we go, right in front of your face. Price action is jumping like a leapfrog. See, because it never belonged down this far. It was supposed to come up, and it's going right back to the level where I was last week. And why? Because that's where it's supposed to be. So a lot of times, guys, we get jumped down our throats if we lose any trades for the copycat. But the truth of the matter is, you can see it can happen to anybody, not because you're a bad trader. It's just a simple fact that sometimes what's going to happen is the markets are going to get some economic data. Some things are going to come out. Last week, we do know that there was supposed to be a big mineral deal with the U.S. and so forth and so forth. And a lot of times this is going to impact the market. Why? Because the markets celebrate when wars are over because they can get back to normal. Okay. Now, when that situation happened with Zelensky in the Oval Office where they got into a squabble and then the deal is off, that means the war is going to continue. So, things happen. Things happen. They just happen. So that's the reason why there is no such thing as a holy grail in trading, because you're trading countries' economies that are impacted by global news events. So if you have the power to control global news events, then you have the power to control the currency. But if you have no power to control global news events, then you have no power to control the markets. The markets are going to automatically react to strange news, even if it's not scheduled, which, by the way, like I said, I'll go over the news events I'm looking at this week, but anything can happen. So the best thing to do is use smaller lot sizes, and we just wait till the storm passes like we did last year. People were saying, oh, you guys are losing trades. And then all of a sudden, guess what? The rest of the year, we were smashing and breaking records. That's because we understand, especially at the beginning of the year, it's really, really tumultuous. Okay, so January last year was our roughest month, and the rest of that we were skyrocketing. And here we go, just coming out the first month or two, and you'd see Donald Trump is causing disruptions all over the world, which we can't control. But this is the point. The point is that the trades will recover. And if you're in drawdown, this is why you need to shut up. Some of you guys, you talk too much. You complain too much. And as soon as you get done complaining, guess what happens? The markets end up pulling right back up. You're in profit, and then you say nothing. Why? Because you shouldn't have complained in the first place. Relax. So there we go. See, this is a fine example. And I said this was going to be the one that I was going to watch this week. And look what happened. It already jumped up. A little late. But that's okay. Like I said, I expect this to happen on several pairs, the AUDs as well. The AUD versus the dollar. Let's check a lot of these pairs that were against the dollar that dropped very hard. It already happened. See? Right there. See how it dropped real hard and it wasn't supposed to? And I know they have these new terms, gap fillers or imbalance and all these different things. It's all the same thing. When the market went somewhere it wasn't supposed to be, it's going to find its way back to normality, to normalcy. And you see this weekend gap, which is why I was telling you guys a lot of times I'm not really trying to do, excuse me, I just had dinner, I apologize. I'm really not trying to do step-by-step videos to break this down to you, because by the time the market's open, you'll see just like this. You see this big old gap, okay, the gap filler. Okay, so if I would have told you, hey, it's going to do a bounce, then the market opens, and guess what? Because the markets are still running, even though your broker closed down for the weekend, it didn't mean the money markets were closed. By the time the market opens on Sundays, which today is, guess what happens? My analysis will be correct, but it doesn't mean that you're going to be able to get in there. I wish we could, because I really would have liked to have taken this trade. But you see this big candle? That was news. See? News candles. So there's nothing you can do when news candles happen, but just get ready for the rebounds. And that's exactly what we're seeing all over the place. Just like I said in the video I recorded earlier, but I had to pull it down because it was dragging. Something happened with this software or whatever. And I really wish it wouldn't have, because a lot of y'all would have been like, dang, this dude is so accurate. Yeah, exactly. Accuracy and patience, people. All right. So anyway, here's what I think I'm going to do. Instead of trying to go step by step, I think this one will probably go back up and retest this level again here. Let's check this one on the ocean wave. Instead of going step by step, because a lot of these have already did the move, it would have been nice, like I said, if you would have saw my video, the one I put out earlier, because you would have been like fascinated. You've been like, dang, that's pretty hot. He was on point with that one. See, this one I already know it was going to bounce up because it's creating that SpongeBob SquareHead. And anytime you see a consolidation pattern, what that means is it's just going sideways for a little bit. And typically it's going to pop up in the same direction it was already going, which is happening right here. You can see it started consolidating, and then guess what happens? It popped up. Okay. I really wish y'all could have seen the earlier recording. So at this point, to be honest with you, I think I'll be wasting your time. Well, this one. Yep. So this is another one. I anticipate this one is going to go up. It's going to pop up some more. There you go. There goes the arrow. See what I'm saying? I think this one is going to go up some more because I see that consolidation. And for continuations, put this on your notes. This is not 100%, but for consolidations equals continuations. Okay? Put that in your notes. Consolidations equal continuations. Now, the funny thing is, this one I may close out because what's happening is I see this is the high point on the 4 hour. Let me go to the daily, and it's already at the high point. So no, this one is no good. It would have been, so you can still squeeze a few pips, if I was to put it and say, oh, okay, you're going to come up here, which you can. But the risk to reward is not good because I got my stop down here. Which if I go to a lower time frame, I always like put it below the main wave. So if I put it right here below this main wave, that will be how many pips? 46 for 21. That's not a good deal. Not a good deal. It will go up though. I'm sure of that. I'm sure it's just going to burst up real quick and do that. And here's what I mean. Let's go over here to sexy. So basically I can just go over this is how it would look. See, y'all can see that there. Okay. You can see it. You can see it. So you can see how this is probably going to hop up here and retest this area, which would give me about 21. Look, see, I'm already trying to teeter in profit in front of your face. See, so it's going to push to try to finish retesting this level. But realistically, the risk to reward is not good on this. So truth be told, a lot of these that I recorded for you earlier, they're just already done the move. So it's just better to just go ahead and wait until midweek in class. And let's just go over some things. But at least I was accurate. I do like that. I was very accurate on my points. Look at that. That one's already. Here's what I got going on for me personally. This one looks like, see, it's going to give a little bit. Now, it could break through and go up to this level here. It could. It really could. Okay? It really could do that. Yeah, but that would be really just pushing your luck. It's already at the top. Not much meat left on the bone, so I'm not interested in that. Let's look at the G's. Oh, it's already doing it. All right, so this is another one where, we're in some drawdown, and now look what's happening. See? It's coming right back up. Y'all need to relax. Just relax. Oh, there you go. See? Went in drawdown, and look what happened. This is an imbalance. See, it's way too far down. So this is at least going to come up halfway. At least. Okay? At least. Okay? Now, I do see that they did an impulse move candle, meaning it pushed up real hard. I would like for this to pull back a little bit. It pushes up real hard, comes back, take a breather, and then it continues up and goes in waves, in waves. Like it came down in waves. See? Woo, 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 woo. So now it's going to push up, then take a breather. You see it's at the, and if you got my sexy analyst system, it's already pre-built in. So you got your supply and demand zone areas. So you see right here, it's at this resistance box right here. Okay. This is a level of retest. So what it's doing is looking like it's right there. See, and it's already pulling back just like I told you. See? This brother is a genius. So you see how it stopped right there at that level, right there. Boom, boom, boom. And it stopped literally right there at that level. It may pull down. And me personally, I would love to see if it can come down to this level here and create what we call a head and shoulders pattern or reverse head and shoulders pattern. So this would be your head. Here's one shoulder. And look. Am I making this up? This is the mark. It's literally right in front of your face. Literally. It's happening in front of your face, just like I said. So I would love to see it right down to here. It's pushed out saying, yes, this is established. We are going, baby. We are out of here. So me personally, I would love for this thing to pull back a little bit more. And once it do, let's go ahead and take that thing to the upside. So this would be my star pupil for the week that I would be looking for. Let me check AUD, USD. Okay, this one did the same thing. And it's pretty much a mirror pair. NZD USD and AUD USD. They kind of mirror each other. So you can see this one kind of doing the same exact thing. And I don't care which one of them does it first. This is just what I'm seeing. So you can see here's resistance. Let me move this down just a touch more. So it's laying right on top of there like butter on bread. All right, there we go. Resistance, poked its head up, and it's sitting right there. Now, it can go ahead and push through. Either way it goes, I'm expecting this to do an upward move, but I would love for it to come back down like I showed you on NZD, USD, and, hopefully it'll come on back down and retest this level right there. That would be great. Plenty of support at this level. But if it keeps going, it keeps going. But it's the same thing. So it will sit here, consolidate, and then shoot up if it doesn't do this pullback. If it doesn't do the pullback, then it's going to keep going, and it may hit this level up here before pulling back. You can see this level, which is already pre-built in with the supply and demand zone area. Okay, the demand zone is right there. So if it pushes up to the demand, then it'll pull back possibly to this level here, which is resistance turns into support. So either way it goes, these will be the main two pairs. I'm not going to go through everything because a lot of the stuff, like I said, it didn't already happen. So ain't no need to trying to review things because y'all think I'm making stuff up. But the truth of the matter is that would be what I would be looking for. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. Hey, pull back a little bit more, come on down just a little bit more so I can get a better entry. And if you do, where would I put my stop loss? I will put it right here. Because even if I get in right here, you'll see with the stop, that's only 20 pips. So for an example, you know what I mean? Sitting there talking to y'all. So for an example, if I was to pop in this straight right now, saying, the heck, we're trying to go for the little crumbs because the stop loss ain't that big anyway, I would put mine right below the demand zone area, and that'll give me a risk of 22 pips right there. So even if it pulls back, I can get and add a position to it, but this would be my star pupil for the week. Okay, 30-minute, you can see the range that I built right there. So if it pulls back and starts hanging around in this area, we already know this is the head, left shoulder, create the right shoulder, and it'll pop up. Okay, so I am in a little bit early, but you can still see it here. Okay, here's the head, shoulder. We just don't have the right shoulder. So I anticipate it should come down and create another shoulder over here. But if not, at least I'm in on one position. All right. Now, over here, we do see this strong support area right here. Okay. And we see it right there, and right there. Okay. So I'm putting my stop below, and I see this little wick right here. So I can move it down a little bit more, or, I can actually put it below this whole zone right here. So why is that? Because I see support right here as well. See the support. Okay. And let's come back. So what would that give me? That would actually give me a 31 pips. Okay. 31 pips is what I'm looking at. It can do that 31 pips if I'm wrong. So we'll leave it and see. All right. So let's get to the news, and then we will talk in class on Wednesday. Okay. News that I have for the week right here, and I got to update this for myself. But anyway, because I based this off of what is the directional bias of the long-term trend. And for an example, what is the bias of the long-term trend support that I already have for NZD? It's up. So you can see why I'm choosing that position on the 15-minute, showing that the arrow matches the long-term trend. So yeah, there we go. Anyway, but this is just something for me when I'm trading, so I can look and say, okay, am I trading in the same or opposite? It don't matter. That's just something y'all don't need to know. Anyway, moving on. Right here, we have the euro coming out with employment numbers on Tuesday. You have the Swiss coming out with inflation numbers on Wednesday. U.S. dollar coming up with ADP report, which is a precursor or a preview of Friday's NFP, which a lot of times NFP, that's fine, they can trade on Friday. I'm really not a big fan of trading on Friday anyway, not a big deal. But on Thursday, you do have the interest rates coming out on the euro. So the euro is something to pay attention to twice this week, and the dollar twice this week. So make sure to pay attention to that. Now, last but not least, for you guys, for some of you guys, maybe you're tired of trading, and if you have the, if you're tired of trading and just want us to handle it for you, we can do that for you. I would just ask, hey, just make sure if you're going to be one of those helicopter moms that's constantly watching every single tick, every single trade, every single pip, and pip, dip, and slip that's coming up, then this may not be for you. But if you have the ability to say, you know what, I'm just going to treat it like an investment, I'm going to set it and forget it, let you guys handle it, and I'll check on it once a month like you do your 401k IRA, then maybe we're the right one for you. And if so, just go to our Super Easy Copycat website. You can see right here an example of how this plays out. So just click the play button. You'll see me taking a trade over here. This will be your account, and you'll see the trader pop up. Then you'll see me close a trade here, and you'll see it close right there. So literally after you set it up, which didn't take but a few minutes to set up the copier on your trading platform, once you have it set up, then basically you just sit back and, let it go. And I always tell people, hey, people ask me all the time, well, how much should I start with and this and that? I say, why don't you start with a demo account first? And once you get comfortable with the demo account, after that, you'll know how much you want to feel comfortable starting with your own account. Okay, guys? All right, so enjoy your weekend, and I will talk to you guys in class on Wednesday. Thank you very much.